Hi, I'm Dan Vicari, owner of LAFX. Here at LAFX we have a recording studio. We also do high-end rentals, microphones, preamps, reverbs. I'm also a live engineer, and I've been a live engineer since the early 1970s. Started out doing, big first artist whose name was Gino Vanelli for A&M Records. Did my rock and roll days with Gary Wright, did a short stint with AC/DC, moved on to jazz with Bobby McFerrin, and I worked with Chick Corea and other various jazz artists. Here at LAFX we've used a lot, actually through my whole career I've used a lot of TC Electronics products. Starting way back with the TC 2290, which is still one of the mainstay delays that we use here at the studio, and probably was always my first choice on my riders for live sound as my favorite tap delay. But through the years I've used the M2000, the M3000, and I even carry a Nova delay pedal with me in case I'm somewhere out in the middle of Eastern Europe somewhere and I can't get the box that I want or TC 2290 product. I carry it with me, so I make sure that I can have the sound and the quality of sound that I'm looking for. Now here at the studio, we have the 2290 here in the studio. We have the M3000, but probably the most popular and the most used reverbs and delays and high-end units that we have are the M6000s, and we've used those with music and movies. We use it in stereo and surround, and also my rental clients. It's probably the most used box that we rent out. So one of the other applications we've used it for is the Oscar show. I've done that for many years as well. I usually do the design and setup for the orchestra at the venues. My brother Tommy does the orchestra mixes, and we use the M6000 for all the pre-records, and we even have one at the venue, or sometimes two, at the venue for the audio truck.
What kind of algorithms do you use when you use the 6000?
Well, we've used if I'm doing it in a live application, I usually end up using the large halls. I really like the large halls.
Mostly reverbs.
Reverbs, but in the recording studio, the Silky Gold Plate is very popular, and we use the Silky Gold Plate, the concert hall, the large halls, very popular, and they always sound great.
Do you ever use the delay algorithms in the System 6000?
I don't so much. I usually use the reverbs. Most of my delay use is for live application, but my clients use an assortment of different algorithms here at the studio, and for the Oscars.
What would be a typical way that you use the 6000 in the studio?
I'll do a lot of live recordings of the shows that we do. I'll come in, and sometimes you want to add a nice little sheen, or you want to have a sort of a room sound simulation, and I'll run use it for those applications.
So you'll use it. Is it heavily used during those compilation?
It's probably the only thing I use. So you're trying to make it sound as natural as possible, and with this box, I mean, you can do anything with it. You can make it sound like a room. You can make it sound more like a recording, studio recording. I mean, and it's been very successful.
When you use it for those compilations, it's mostly stereo?
For me, it's mostly stereo. Yes. I mostly use it in stereo.
Do you ever use the Unwrap application?
Well, here at the studio, we've used the Unwrap application on many things. We did AC/DC. We've done various Jimi Hendrix, but those are other engineers, and but those are the clients that would use it like that.
Right. For DVD release or
Yes, for DVD release.
Okay. And so when you're using it as the most important box for these remixes, so you would use the as you said, some hall applications.
I use rooms. I use halls. I use the plates. It just depends on what's appropriate and with the live recordings, you never quite know what you're gonna get until you get it back here in the studio. And then so sometimes the plates are better, sometimes the halls are better, sometimes the large hall is the one you want to use. Sometimes, when you're recording, you get a lot of the room already in the mics. You don't need a whole lot. So it just depends on what you actually end up getting from the recording.
Would you sometimes use it on individual tracks or mostly on the 2-mix?
I use it on both. I use it especially like on like I do Bobby McFerrin, so I'll definitely try to work it into his lead vocal. And then we do this other project called Voicestra, where there's like 13 singers, and I'll group things together and use maybe some room or some halls. It just depends on, like I said, depending on what the recording will let me do as well. And I will do pre-delays, and depending on how it works within the songs. We're really excited about the new version of the M6000. I'm really excited to start learning about some of the LM6 program, the meters, and we'll be looking into that in the future.